Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome to GameTechUK. Welcome back to an extended showcase. So we had so much fun the other night watching the main showcase that I thought I'd stream the extended showcase. We like to do these together. We watch them, have a chat, and just generally chill out and let them show us what they've got for what they've got for us. And you know, we're the winners here. All these developers in the background, publishers, they're working hard to make games that we want to play. So we are the winners. But yes, that's what we're going to be doing. So let me get some sound up on that. Oh, let me put the bloody right speakers on. Here we go. I've just been scoffing me dinner. I had such a lovely dinner, actually. Chicken and potatoes and salad. I had to scoff it because I was like, shit, this is going to start in a minute. Right, let me just check because I think we've got... Yeah, we don't want closed captions on. No, absolutely not. Right, let me know about volumes. I think I'll put it up where we had it the other night. Also, I brought myself... Oh, you can see it there. Brought myself an Xbox Series X today. I have got the S, but, you know, I want it to be on par with the PlayStation 5. And Xbox are absolutely smashing it recently. They really are pulling back that distance that I feel that they've had for a while now against PlayStation, obviously with the VR as well. But they're giving us what we want, and that's games. There's a lot of games. So I was like, it's time to upgrade. So yes, that's what we've done. Let me say some hello, all right, and then we will just chill out. We've got 6 minutes to wait. I've just had me dinner. I've got a nice cold can of Coke. So I'm all ready. After this, I'll go and have my shower because I haven't had a chance today. And then we'll do some F1 23. How about that? Right. I'm surprised you didn't have the X before now. No, well, because I'm mainly PlayStation, aren't I? PlayStation and PC. I've got the Switch, which I don't use very often. And just to sort of complement that, I've got the S. Because any big releases I would play on PC anyway, but actually it's nice to show on the channel, okay, this is the PlayStation 5 version, or for this particular game, this is the Xbox Series X, this is how it's going to run if you buy it, not if you've got a certain PC. So I definitely want to show it on the actual console as well. But yeah, right, let me say who we got. Laserjet, we got Soldier, hello Kyle, Paradise, how are ya? Indodestined, yeah, definitely. We got Howard. There's a lot of games coming out as well at the moment, isn't it? I feel like the gaming industry is so alive and buzzing at the moment. I'm loving it. Ninja Cards, Morts, Laura, Melody, AC. We've got Matt, Daryl, Para, Original, Feeling Hot. Hello, Harold. Oh, you've got Lydia with you. I didn't know your missus was called Lydia. Or maybe it might be a family member or daughter. I don't know. But hello, Lydia. How are you? Welcome to the Series X Club. Can we increase volume talking? Yeah, I can turn down the other one. That's not a problem. We'll get it sussed anyway once it starts. So this isn't like, oh, let's have more games. There might be a few little bits that we didn't show, but this is an extended one. I don't know how long it's going to be in for. I've got no idea. I'm guessing about 40-45 minutes, but this is going to be a deeper look at some of the games that they didn't get enough chance to showcase properly. So expect indies, expect some of the more, shall we say, boring stuff to be extended. I don't think this is going to be a hard hitter, but even so, it's something we like to do together. Yeah, I love it at the moment. Absolutely loving gaming at the moment, without a doubt. It's really buzzing at the moment. Hello, Mark Davis. How are you? Looking forward to Forza. Yeah, I can't wait for Forza. Yeah, I'll be playing that on the X, definitely. Will you do a comparison video between the S and the X? No, not really. No, I mean I have got the S on if you're talking about actual gameplay, I've got loads of S on the channel, but no, not really. One's a small white box, one's a bigger black box. Yeah, yeah. I don't think there'd be much interest in that. Shows how good the Xbox. Yes, I haven't stopped talking about it. Yeah, this reminds me, not necessarily the extended one, but the proper showcase they did reminded me of the old days of E3. Of like, wow, this is exciting. Come on, just more. Not this sort of fishing around what PlayStation's been doing the last few showcases. And don't get me wrong, I'm no fanboy of either. Right, of Eva, not Eva, my dog, of Eva brand. I don't buy into a brand. I buy into what the consoles can do. So I'm not an extra fanboy of either of them. I like the games on both, absolutely. On paper, the X is faster. Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's 480 quid, but it did come with Diablo, and I've been wanting to, I've mentioned it a few times, so that Diablo is going to be about 80 quid, so it worked out about 400 quid really for the Xbox Set X, yes. 6 controllers, yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about Xbox. This is the controller it comes with. It's so plain boring. There's no haptic feedback. It's the weak point, absolute weak point, and a strength for PlayStation. Yeah, definitely, right, Raf. That's what I think. Yeah, I've always preferred PlayStation for this generation. I was Xbox 360 all the way. Give me Xbox 360 over PlayStation 3 any day of the week. I still think it won that generation. But PlayStation is amazing, isn't it? With the controller, with the VR. But I think Xbox is just going for, all right, let's give them games. They're gamers. Let's just do games then. And they are doing well. And they're all coming under Xbox Game Pass. So you can't lose really, can you? Right. We've got 2 minutes. Lovely. So let me know when it starts. I think volumes will be all right. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk over everything. I'll just, we'll have a laugh as we always do. There's not as many people watching the original, the official stream. Only 10,000 compared to, it was 80, 90,000 the last one. Hello, Ghost. How are you? Until they got drunk on Connect, yeah. Oh, sorry, Kim, I didn't see that. And Chrissy, yeah. So Lily's doing... Oh, can everyone just say hello, Lily? And she's stressing out over homework. I know what that's like. I don't. I barely went to school, but... Just chill, Lily, all right? You got this. You got this. I'm sure you have. Your mum will make sure that you've got this. Don't you worry. And you've always got more confidence than... More ability than you're confident. You sort of think, oh, can I do this? Of course you can. Of course you can. Sony is still behind a bit. I wouldn't say they're behind. No. Yeah, you can do it, Lily. Right, here we go. Here we go for another Xbox showcase. I can't wait to get the Xbox set up, start playing Diablo as well. We played Final Fantasy demo today. That was fantastic. That really was absolutely epic. I loved it. We completed the demo, about 2 hours. It was very, very impressive if you haven't seen it. Right, let's watch this, and then I'll go and have a shower, get myself ready for the evening, and we'll play some F1. Let me know about volumes. Okay, they're going straight in.
So who's the angel, who's the devil, though? That's the real question between Solomon and Johnny.
I'd like to think I'm always an angel.
How does that volume seem against my voice? I really want to get back to Cyberpunk, I really do. Most of my time in Cyberpunk was like comparing the PlayStation version, the Xbox version, the PlayStation Pro version, instead of just enjoying it and playing it. How's that volume seem? Does it all sounds alright? Oh, cool. Showcase extended. I mean, bloody hell. Not only did they have a great showcase, they've got an extended version. Didn't Starfield look so good? Fantastic. We're in for a big... Oh, this as well. Oh, this come out of nowhere for me. The flight sim. Wow. It's weird, isn't it? I think the gaming industry went a little bit dry for a little bit, but I really feel it's back. I really do. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to. F1 is fantastic, by the way. Spoiler. This was weird. I'm not sure if this is an indication of what we're going to see tonight or just a sort of recap of the main one. I will get Skylines, but I'll play it on PC. I mean, there wasn't much I didn't like on the showcase. Really tastes, bloody hell. Hello, Manuel. How are you? I didn't like Overwatch. Didn't go much on the Persona series, but again, we can try it. It's all under Game Pass, isn't it? That's the great thing about this. We can just try it all.
Welcome to the Xbox Games Showcase Extended. My name is Tina Amini, and I'm
Yeah,
here
happy
to
with
dive
that
a
volume,
little
yeah?
bit more into the games you saw at our recent Xbox Games Showcase. Showcase featured 27 ambitious games, all coming to Xbox. Games like Clockwork Revolution from InXile Entertainment, Fable from Playground Games, and from
Green
our
Stalk is
partners,
nice.
Star Wars Outlaws from Ubisoft Massive in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, and Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess from Capcom. Today, we'll take a closer look at some other games from our showcase lineup and introduce you to some more games too. We've
Nice,
got
so
the
we're
game
gonna look
director
at
of
some old
Avowed from
season
Obsidian Entertainment breaking down the game's trailer, and the game director of Hi-Fi Rush from Tango Gameworks is here to tell us about their newest update. You'll also hear from Sarah Bond, head of the Gaming Ecosystem Organization for Xbox, who will tell us more about a program to bring games from underrepresented developers with unique visions to
good.
Xbox and Game Pass. And we may just have a few other fun guests in store for you too, so
May.
stay tuned. But first, let's check out the rainy streets and sinister markets of Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty.
God, the location of Cyberpunk is just perfect.
Hello,
isn't it?
everyone. I'm really excited to welcome you to this exclusive Xbox store over Black Market, one of the locations in Dogtown that you are going to be able to explore in Cyberpunk
rocking some
2077
merch,
Phantom Liberty. As you can see, Dogtown welcomes you with an open arms.
Yeah, the location here is just perfect for a
This
video
is
game,
Black
isn't it?
Market, a location where you as a player, as a mercenary, you can obtain unique cyberware and weapons, things that you cannot find anywhere in this world.
So how
Dogtown
then?
is
Yeah,
a
maybe.
part of Night City, but has its own very distinct look and vibe.
So
It's outside
detailed,
of the
isn't it?
jurisdiction of NCPD, attracting all kinds of eccentrics and dangerous characters.
Radical mods, Jim. Never seen anything like that on a non-maelstromer.
You mean this? Ain't seen nothing yet. Check
Yeah,
this
definitely,
out.
Rob. It's totally fine now. Yeah,
this
yeah.
here-
Oh God, at the elbows. Yes.
We have put a lot of work into making the world feel more alive.
Hello, Ken. How are
Small
you?
scenes, secrets to find, Easter eggs. Make this place feel more vibrant and more believable.
Maintenance accessories and
But what's inescapable in Dogtown is Kurt Hansen. Kurt is a leader of Borges militia who rules Dogtown with an iron
Does anyone
fist.
don't like Cyberpunk here?
the right place. NCPD, gang wars, not in Dogtown.
He is right. Yeah, he's been smashing it since I've read it. He's played it way more than me.
In Dogtown, I keep your business safe as long as you abide by my rules.
A really nice guy, as you can see.
I thought so.
The black market also is a place where you can find new illegal weapons and goods. They are some of the most powerful
Yeah, I'd love to get
items in the world,
proper deep
but
into
are often
Cyberpunk
much more dangerous
without worrying
to
about
use.
performance and
cyberware
graphics, just
capacity
enjoy the
system,
game.
which leads you to push your body to the limit and give you new abilities to
You probably did the right thing,
deliver more
Cyber, and not get
thrilling
caught up in all
gameplay
that first stuff.
experiences, like the air dash
into it now.
or the ability to see the enemies through the walls, or change your appearance to lose the heat. The Borgest is the authorities of Dogtown, and
I don't
they
know
are
if this is
more
a paid for
dangerous than
DLC or if it's
NCPD.
free. I'm not sure.
When you as a player commit crimes in Dogtown, they are the guys who are going to chase you. We have completely overhauled the police system. Police actions are more believable, dynamic, and diverse. The team has been working passionately to deliver you more deeper and meaningful experience, and I really cannot wait for you to find out more
Yeah. I wonder
this
if you
September.
can jump straight. I
See you
think
in
we
Dogtown.
discussed this the other night. Can you jump straight into the new DLC, or do you have to work your way through the main game? And PlayStation.
We're not done talking about CD Projekt Red's next dive into the story between V and Johnny just yet. In fact, we're here with the voice and stylings of Johnny Silverhand, Keanu Reeves himself. Welcome.
I love the way
Thank
he
you.
wants to.
It's a
He wants to
pleasure
get
to be
involved
here.
in this, doesn't
Likewise. Well, Phantom Liberty introduces us to an entirely new location in Night City. It's called Dogtown. It's this devastated
Look at
place. It's controlled by a militia. But I think you know more about it than I do. So how would you describe it to players?
Night
he? Yeah,
City has
exactly,
its own
David.
kind of
Yeah.
levels to it, and I think Dogtown is kind of going down to a darker
This is
place.
what I hope doesn't happen to Starfield.
It's
People go,
dystopian.
"Oh," and then they go back to it 2
It
years
has
later.
a
and suddenly it's
tension
like
to
this.
it, and
Sorted.
this undercurrent of kind of violence, and struggle.
I like the way he
You know,
knows about the game, not
can I
just the
swear?
voiceover
Yeah.
for the character.
Shit's gone down in Dogtown.
Oh, I like that tagline.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, hopefully it'll be fun for people
Level
to
20, yeah.
to
Okay, cool.
play there.
It's hard to believe that there's an underbelly to the underbelly.
Yes,
Yeah.
It is Night
good.
City,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm a little
yeah.
scared, but in a
Yeah.
good way.
No, it's a good way. I mean, we're all kind of we're all moths to the flame, aren't we? And there's a lot of
That's the equivalent of the
Flame
bloke
Dogtown.
standing outside
Well, if anyone can take
Mankind,
it on,
just
it's
doing the
V,
remote
so
control
that
thing.
certainly
Yeah.
gives me
He's
the
doing out of his
confidence.
elbows
yeah,
of
V's
fire.
a survivor,
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
you know?
And we just saw a tour of Dogtown, too, so we got a little bit of that
Oh, cool.
ambiance, and we can see what the environment is like. People are getting beat up. It's not good.
It's yeah,
It's not the friendliest place to be. You gotta be prepared for it, truly.
yeah.
But in our tour, we also hear a recording from a Colonel Kurt Hansen. Who's this guy? Because he seems pretty dangerous, too.
Yeah, that guy. No, I'm sorry, I can't say that. My inner Johnny came out.
I think that's good.
He's
You know,
in a
we
Johnny.
know the tone
He's
now.
great, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's ex-military, military too, ruthless, power hungry, manipulative, and Johnny doesn't like him.
I could see that. Night City in general is the kind
Yeah, I
of
wanna
place
get
that
stuck
breeds
into
that
this.
kind of character.
Yeah.
Let's take a step back. Let's talk about Johnny as a person instead of this horrible person known as Colonel Kurt Hansen. I don't know about this guy, but people like Johnny, and I think it's interesting because we know him to be opinionated. He's radical. We've seen that in Cyberpunk 2077
Well, that's what
in
the
the main
extended
campaign.
bit's
But
all
as
about,
we get to
Dave,
know
isn't it?
him, he's got a sensitive side too. He can actually be quite caring.
That's what makes it so much fun. He is outspoken. He's a little grumpy, and he has a right to be. He's been used, he's been abused, he's been abandoned. And I think that through that kind of hardness of his outside, there is a vulnerability to him.
I didn't find the
And I
environment
think
as much fun to
What's
just
great about
drive
it is
around as
I
I
get
hoped
to
or
play
thought
that
it was gonna
character
be.
in so many different ways, and so the range of it is cool.
And especially for the player, you get to see these moments in flashbacks. You start to understand he's a product of his upbringing, truly, of his surrounding.
Well, let's not get carried away. I mean, we can
I think they
start talking
invested
about
so much
nature
into it,
and
AC.
nurture.
They've had to go this route.
I'm
haven't
sorry, I
they?
keep dropping into Johnny. But yeah, I like his anger. I like his passion.
environment was
I like what he
fantastic.
stands for. He's really just looking for a fair shot. And I love that he's kind of going through music, that there's an artist side to him. And, I got some great speeches.
There's all these moments with Johnny where a tiny little thing,
Yeah, it is a
elicits
shame
this
about
really
his
fun
bad start.
response. You
It
can
is, yeah.
flip him off and he double birds you back. Like, I love those kind of moments.
Or rock.
I think another interesting lens of looking at him as we get into Phantom Liberty is his dynamic with Solomon Reed. So what can you tell me about
Idris Elba.
Johnny's relationship with Idris Elba's character?
I think Solomon has some
He's
things
definitely
in
the next James
common
Bond.
with Johnny
I
in the
think he
sense
is.
of the military, the sense of being used, abused. It's in the title,
Oh, I
right?
think there's
They're
way
fighting
much
for
more
a
to
liberty.
come on this game. Yeah,
You
way
know,
more.
Solomon's kind of trying to reclaim his life, and Johnny's doing the same thing. you know, it's Cyberpunk 2077, so it might start off as revenge, and it might end as revenge, but I think sometimes he feels like he's lashing out at the wind.
I really like the way he's
And I think
engrossed in his
Solomon
character.
has been living out in the kind of the desert of his life, right? Kind of hiding and harboring.
Yeah.
But I think he also has that
We'll
kind
see,
of
Matt.
soft and hard side to him as well.
So as somebody who's very familiar with thrillers, because you've starred in a few, what do you think about Phantom Liberty makes for a good spy thriller in particular?
The quest to understand what's going on. So, and the kind of
I suppose he's got a
scavenger
great
hunt
understanding of what the game's about,
information,
purely from reading his
the
lines, isn't it?
mystery, the double crossing, what is true, what's fiction, what can you count on, you can't count on anything. That is really kind of amplified.
I mean, look at that location. I did
Well,
so
thank
many
you so much
streams
for
of
coming out
all
to
the different
another
versions,
Xbox
didn't I?
presentation.
Oh, God.
You've got a lot of fans out there in the Xbox community, so I think I can speak for all of us in saying
Could be
I
a
really
woman. No, I don't think
appreciate
it'd be a
you
woman,
showing
a
up
woman,
here
no.
today.
Oh, well, thank you.
But before
It's an
I
honor
close
to
things
be
out,
here. Yeah.
well, before I close things out, I'd love your help here, Keanu. How do you think Johnny would end this interview right now?
Well, there's a lot of ways you could do that. But, Tina, pleasure to meet you.
Oh, is that how Johnny would do it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you,
That's just
Johnny.
like a normal person,
Such a,
isn't it?
See
such
you.
a pleasure to have you here. I thought you were going to kick down the camera or something, so.
No, you see, he's respectful. You know, you're a good egg.
Oh, thank you. You too. And I'll see you out there again soon.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a cost associated with that or whether it's going to be free DLC. I mean, if it's free, then wow. That's the problem with extended showcases. If we don't really like the game, it's going to be a lot of blah, 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 isn't there? I should have gone back to finish this. I had a blast streaming this. It was really good.
Oh, I'm so sorry for dragging you all into this.
This was funny. Hilarious, in fact.
The world you think you live in doesn't exist.
Thank you for coming in, by the way.
It's a pantomime. Theater. And if you get a glimpse behind the
Paid, is it, Lolly? Yeah.
the stage
Got to pay the bills, haven't they?
you'll discover nothing but darkness. And once perceived, it will swallow you whole. I'm in a race against this darkness. A race to locate an ancient ruin, a tower of unspeakable power. I need the best of the best.
This is Indiana Jones, isn't
They're
it?
all dead. So I'll use you. Scoundrels, thieves, cutthroats.
What do you reckon on this? We didn't
The
see this,
best
did we?
of
This
the
is something we didn't see. Hello, Cave.
Oh, come now. Try not to look so glum.
Not sure. Not sure how long it would
You're
hold
going
my
to help
attention.
me save the world.
Probably for a 2-hour stream, fantastic. Any longer? It looks good. Looks to be a great setting, etc. But yeah,
When it comes to RPG studios, Obsidian Entertainment is among the very best. From Fallout New Vegas and The Outer Worlds to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 and Pentiment, Obsidian games have placed their stamp on the genre. Joining us today for a closer look at Avowed is game director Carrie Patel. Carrie, I'm so
Did
excited
we like
to have
Avowed?
you
I
here.
can't remember.
We just
Was
saw
that
this
the
big reveal
bloke
of
playing the
Avowed,
guitar?
and there's so many
Can't
little
remember.
bits of information in there that I want to dig out and pick your brain around.
No,
but
not yet,
before
Cove,
we get
no,
into all that, I'm assuming that you don't need to have played Pillars 1 or 2 to really get into Avowed.
You're absolutely right. You don't need to have played Pillars 1 or 2. You can come to the world of Avowed fresh. We want this to be a welcoming
going around the
experience
track
to new
and around
players.
and around,
but if you
Gametech
are a
is not
returning fan,
interested.
there are some recognizable
Really,
tidbits.
Paradise.
For people who have played Pillars 1 or 2, can you tease any more of just those general connections to the universe? And no major spoilers, of course.
Yeah. There are a couple returning characters that players might recognize from Deadfire in particular. Players who have played the original games will recognize some of the parts of the world and some of the factions. The Adirian Empire plays
literally
pretty
can't
heavily into
remember,
the
I say,
world
there
of
was a
Avowed,
lot going
so
on,
all of
wasn't
that
there?
will be familiar to returning players.
We do start to see some of that Pillars universe now in the Avowed setting, which is really exciting, and it's looking amazing so far. But can you confirm one thing for me? Are we still in Aora?
We're still in Aora, and specifically we're in a region called the Living Lands. So again, returning Pillars fans will recognize the Living Lands as this otherworldly frontier. It's very remote. It's relatively unknown. It's this very dramatic landscape full of all of these different valleys with these
got
unique
upside-down
biomes
strawberries,
and
isn't it?
creatures. Just a really unique visual perspective. And it's a wonderful
That's
frontier
right.
spot
Dinosaurs
that's
in
set
it,
for
didn't it?
adventure. There's a lot that's undiscovered, and so that's the part of Aora that we're introducing players to in Avowed.
And we also see a character talking to us in the trailer. He seems like he might be a companion, because that would be a very Obsidian thing to do. So what's going on with that?
Yes, this is Kai, and he is one of the first companions you meet in the game. He's an Amawa. That's one of the unique species of the world of Aora.
I didn't know they had that
brings
as
a
a
balance of this
emoji.
really battle-hardened perspective. He's seen a lot. He's served as a soldier and a mercenary, but he also has a really unique sense of humor. So he brings a spirit of levity and camaraderie to the party as well.
And as he's talking to us, he's also kind of conveying, well, he's straight up saying that he's afraid of you and your abilities. But it's not like the heroes are the only powerful beings in this universe. So I'm curious what that means for who we are as the player character. Are we a watcher again, like in Pillars 1 and 2? Or maybe we have some connections to the spirit realm and beyond that gives us
I
these
like that
terrifying
aspect, didn't I?
abilities?
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
you're not
Bit
a
of
watcher
magic in
this
there.
time, but you do have a unique soul connection to the world. That gives you a connection to the Living Lands and to some of the more mysterious forces at work there. The player is also being sent as an envoy of the Adirian
that'll be a
Empire,
DLC
and so they
Paradise.
come with both a very mysterious aura, but also a certain sense of political urgency.
Kai also mentions a plague. That's another bit of detail that we get within the trailer. We see a very concerning growth on a lot of the creatures in the world. What can you tell us about this plague?
I can't say too much just yet, except that it is a unique soul plague that is devouring the Living Lands, and part of the player's mission in being sent here is to investigate and try to stop it.
We also saw a lot of combat in the trailer, and we see dual-wielding pistols, we see spells,
Cocaine Bear was awesome.
we see
Oh,
swords, we
God,
see
what a
just a
film
ton
that
of
was.
abilities. A lot that actually is really reminiscent of the Pillars universe too, but those were isometric, top-down view games,
Yeah,
and
so they are talking
Avowed
about
is a
Pillars of-
first-person game. So
yeah.
how did the team approach
that
that
was
same
isometric
kind of
top-down, wasn't it?
fantasy
Pillars of
combat, but
Eternity.
in the first person for Avowed?
So we wanted to take that same depth and breadth of play styles and combat abilities and player fantasies, where you can play someone who's very magically attuned, more traditional fighter or ranger, and really invest in whatever play style is most appealing to you personally. We wanted to take that depth and breadth and translate it into a first-person experience, where you can feel the visceral nature of the attacks, feel
Again,
the dynamism and
enough
the
for one
momentum of those
stream,
attacks
yes.
as you're executing them, and that means including
More?
a range
I'm
of
not
options
sure.
like, as you noted, dual-wielding pistols, which is one of my favorites because you don't see that often in fantasy RPGs, but also traditional sword and board, a whole host of magical abilities, a lot of things that'll be both a little bit familiar but hopefully new to players as well.
And I've got one more question for you, because I know the audience is going to want to know this one, but just how big is this game?
So it's going to be roughly comparable to something like Knights of the Old Republic 2 or The Outer Worlds. It is set up as a series
The
of
Outer Worlds is
interconnected
massive.
open
I've done
zones
some videos
that
on
players
that. I
can
didn't do streams, I
explore
videoed
at
that.
their
It's
own
quite good.
pace. You can invest in discovering every nook and cranny in the world, discovering every secret, finding every
Awful
side
film,
quest,
Cocaine
meeting
Bear.
every
It was
character,
fun. It was
or you
fun.
can have a much more focused experience. And it's really up to
Really
players
gruesome
and how
as
much
well,
time
wasn't
they
it?
want to spend in the Living Lands, but I'm hopeful that they're going to spend a lot of
No,
time with
Matt,
us
no.
once Avowed releases.
Well, count me in as one of those players, because I definitely want to read and hear every line of dialogue, everything everyone has to tell me, and discover every inch of the Living Lands. Well, thank you again so much for being here,
Liar.
Carrie. This has been so insightful and fun.
Thank you, Tina.
No,
This has
Matt.
been a pleasure.
That was just a taste of what you can expect from Obsidian Entertainment when Avowed lands next year on Xbox, PC, and Game
Next year
Pass.
as well. I mean, it's, you know. Yeah, I don't think to get our hopes up for this showcase too much. This is just the extended. A little bit of extra.
퍼스트 디센던트는 언리얼 엔진 5를 사용한
Is there a film about a cocaine
차세대
bear?
327
Yeah,
믹스처
it was on at
게임으로
the cinema. Yeah.
엑스박스 시리즈 X와 S,
I know,
엑스박스
Taste.
1을
It's
포함해
yeah,
콘솔과
like I say,
PC
this reminds me of the
플레이가
old days of
가능하고
E3. Just all these
프리투플레이로
trailers
즐기실
and
수
stuff
있도록
coming.
개발
There's a
중입니다.
lot going on.
퍼스트 디센던트에서 플레이어는 계승자가 되어 인류의 생존을 위해 침략자들의 맞서 싸우게 됩니다. 계승자는 플레이어의 캐릭터로서 다양하고 개성적인 컨셉과 전투 스타일을 가지고
Can't
있습니다.
remember if we like this one.
플레이어는 계승자를 통해 잉그리스 대륙을 탐험하며 스토리를 체험하고 다양한 임무를
Did we actually
혼자서
see it?
혹은 협동 플레이로 수행하게 됩니다. 또한 최대 4인 협동 플레이로
It's
거대
funny as
보스와의
fuck,
레이드를
Paradise,
경험할 수
yeah.
있습니다. 거대 보스별 다양한 기믹과 부위 파괴 등을 통해 밀도 높은 팀 플레이를 체험하실
cool.
수 있습니다. 현재 개발팀은 작년 베타 테스트에서 플레이어분들에게 받은 피드백을 개선하는 작업과 신규 컨텐츠의 개발을 병행하고 있습니다.
Oh,
지금
nice,
보시는
Derek.
화면은
Double whammy there.
최초로 공개하는
Yeah, this is
엑스박스
new.
시리즈
Yeah, I don't
X의
remember seeing
실제
this.
게임
Yeah.
플레이 영상입니다. 언리얼 엔진 5를 활용한 높은 퀄리티의 그래픽이
Oh,
안정적으로
that looked good. That
돌아가도록
looked good.
열심히 개발 중에 있습니다.
Nice
신규
locations.
계승자 역시 개발 중에 있는데요. 이 계승자는 불을 이용한 독특한 컨셉의 플레이를 경험할 수 있도록
It's a bit of
디자인되었습니다.
a warframe, isn't
또한
it?
자기장을 이용한 방어 능력과 비행 스킬을 지닌 새로운 캐릭터도 개발하고 있습니다. 플레이어분들이 더 많은
I think these days I'm
경험을
just on the lookout for
몰입감
something
넘치는
that
스토리를
comes across
경험할
as
수
being
있도록
original.
다양한 환경의 신규 웹을 개발하고 있으며 새로운 타입의 보스 레이드 역시 지속적으로 개발하고 있습니다. 그리고 많은 분들이 요청하셨던 코스메틱 시스템도 도입 중에 있는데요. 캐릭터들마다 다양한 컨셉의 스킨을 제공할 예정이며
That was an Iron
희귀
Man,
아이템을 통해
knockoff.
개성을 마음껏 뽐낼 수 있도록 지원할 예정입니다. 가장
does
많은
taste, and they're only
피드백을
just at the
받았던
beginning as well, aren't
그래픽은
they?
시스템을 완전히 변경하였습니다. 변경된 그래플링은 조작에 따른 회전과 이동 시 가속 감속을 지원하여
Thank you,
조작의
Graham.
재미를
40
훨씬
months,
더
I appreciate that.
즐겨하였습니다.
That's massive. Thank you very much.
이 밖에도 피드백을 반영하여
Nothing screams original like a third-person action shooter. Yeah,
UX를
that's what I'm saying.
지속적으로 개선해
That's what I'm
나가고
saying.
있으며 계승자 스킬을 개조할 수
I
있는
just cry out for
시스템도
something
개발 중에 있습니다.
original.
게임 사운드 또한 글로벌 유명 게임 작곡가인 스티븐 바튼과 협업하여 보다 풍성한 청각적 경험을 제공하기 위해 준비 중에 있습니다. 마지막으로 여러분께서 가장 기다리실 소식을 전해드리겠습니다. 현재 저희는 연내 출시를 목표로 하고 있으며
This year,
그에
okay.
앞서 8월 엑스박스 시리즈 X와 S를 포함한 콘솔과 PC에서
Crossplay
크로스플레이
as well,
베타
which should
테스트를
be the
진행할
standard
예정입니다.
now, shouldn't it?
베타 테스트는 8월 22일부터 8월 28일까지 일주일간 진행되며 오늘부터 공식 홈페이지를 통해 신청하실 수 있으니 플레이어분들의 많은 참여를 부탁드리겠습니다. Be the first descendant.
Genital or genteel? I'm not sure with you, Beard, which one you would put for them.
When we were wrapping up Banner Saga, we were really talking about what is it we want to do next.
We earnestly started with the idea of making a game that was hopeful, that it was a triumph for the human spirit.
Something that had a lot of replay ability.
Genital.
Something that you can really explore for a long time.
There are different worlds that we want to explore. Towerborn is that game.
Which is the latest Xbox? The Xbox Series X is the top one.
Towerborn is a fast-paced action RPG. It's a co-op game. You can play it online. You can play it on a couch with your
It's almost
friends
like
and
we
family.
need another
Everybody's moving through the
genre.
world map together.
You know, this
as
action
the players move out and start
RPG. Yeah,
breadcrumbing
we need
the
another
storyline that is
genre where
being
things
told
can
here.
slip into that.
From the world map, you go into fun,
To get
fast
something original.
combat. You come out of that with resources and crafting items, and with all their new loot, they can go back to the Belfry.
I mean, not knocking this game, but the way he's describing it, literally describing every single game we're playing at the moment, isn't it?
The Belfry is the player's
It was for
safe haven
8.9
and
with
humanity's
Diablo.
safe haven. The player can customize their
I've got it behind me, I
appearance,
brought it
their
today.
loadout, talk to all these different NPCs.
The world itself is a mix of 3D and 2D. We definitely wanted to have that kind of beautiful background that you see in animated movies.
That's nice, actually. Yeah, that is good.
Towerborn is all about humanity's last chance at survival.
Humanity is clinging to hope and clinging to this tower.
It is your mission to try to hold the forces of darkness at bay.
Based purely on the showcase a couple of days ago, I'm like, yeah, I need to do more Xbox content.
The most important thing about the gameplay is it's just fun.
I just head towards PlayStation
kind of just
as
amplified
my
its
default.
fun the moment you added another player. All of the players can build their character in a way that's specific to them. It just turns
If a
into this
developer
back and
asks
forth
me,
exploration.
what do you want
Like,
the code
let's
for?
try
I say
to do this
PlayStation
one
5.
combo.
So it'd
and
be
let's
nice
see
to
if
be
you
able to
can
do some
follow-up.
Xbox as well.
From a couch co-op perspective, that's just really fun because
Another
there's
last
not
chance,
too
yeah.
many couch co-op games anymore.
Oh, probably tomorrow sometime. I mean, I'm streaming
hoping
straight after this.
In
so.
5 years from now, it's in a place that I never even would have thought of.
It's a seasonal game, which is different for us.
Players can expect a new storyline with new quests, new biomes. We'll be rolling out new gear, new monsters, new
I mean,
bosses.
it looks all right, doesn't it?
Expanding
It's
on the
something I would
content
definitely
in
play.
in a continuous, organic way, so it just becomes a living world.
Yeah, I do quite like this, just as a bit of a change more than anything.
When we started Stoic, we decided let's just make games that we feel strongly
If you can
about,
stretch to
and
it,
we wanna
Graham,
play.
get the X.
We had to find the right relationship with a publisher. And
Starfield
I think we
themed
found that with
hardware.
Xbox. They've enabled us to make the game that
No,
we
I'm
want
not
to
big
make
on
here.
themed hardware, really. As
I
you can see,
earnestly
I haven't
cannot
really
wait
got any of
for
that, have
the
I?
community to see the game that we're rolling out here. Towerborn is, I really believe,
Not a
something
waste of time, Melody. Again, not everyone's got a 4K tally. Yeah, not a waste. It's still a bloody good console, and it's cheap as well. It's 250 quid. But if you want something comparable to a high-end PC or your PlayStation 5, you've got to go for the X.
You gotta protect the pit stop, please!
What the hell is that thing?
Okay. Do we want to move on from Fallout 76?
Hello, I'm John Rush, art director for Fallout 76.
That wasn't me that did that voice.
I hope you enjoyed
volume.
the world premiere of the trailer for
Yeah,
our
that's not
Once
me,
in a
that's
Blue
him.
Moon update coming June 20th. Free to play for anyone who owns Fallout
Oh,
76.
cool. Free update. Nice. So if you like it, there's a bit more for you.
The Blue Moon has risen over the hills of Appalachia, bringing with it a ton of great new content for players.
No, I wouldn't say low-end PC taste. Oh, bloody hell, no.
That includes new cryptids like the Blue Devil.
No, I wouldn't compare it with a
Old
low-end
to
PC.
threaten the progress of the Blue Ridge Caravan Company.
There's
We've
no
also
way you're
got
going to get a
two
low-end
new
PC
public
to play
events,
the same as the Xbox Series
both
X.
of which give you a chance to earn caravan and cryptid-themed rewards. Defend the Middle Mountain pit stop from waves of monstrous creatures and safe and sound.
This still looks so dated, doesn't it? It looked dated when it came out.
Crazed cultists and beasts of burden.
Yeah,
With
definitely.
Season
Derek,
13,
yeah.
we've also got a new scoreboard called Shoot for the Stars.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Which celebrates the stars of the silver screen and gives you a chance to earn cinema-themed
Hello,
rewards.
Dazza. Make a proper Fallout sequel. Yeah, I think that's
And
what
we're not
everyone
done
wants.
yet. Next year,
10
we're taking
times
players
the
to Atlantic
detail.
City,
What a
where they'll
meme that
gamble
was.
on the fates of new factions for the opportunity to win
I'd
big.
probably give it a go.
Do your part in helping
Certainly
the
this
Blue
year,
Ridge
after playing
Caravan
Hogwarts
Company
all the way through quite deep,
earn
completing
rewards along
everything,
the
getting
way.
the
Once in a Blue Moon
the
is
platinum
coming
on
June
Days Gone.
20th.
I'm really hungry
Appalachia is
for
coming at
big
ya.
stories.
We'll
I
see you
like it.
there.
I think it's my favourite thing, you know. Nice. Well, it's free, isn't it?
What's this?
I did stream this game, didn't I? I'm sure I did. I don't think I really liked it that much. Yeah, no, I did stream it, didn't I? Yeah, I absolutely did, yeah. I'm sure I did. If I did, it was very forgettable. If I didn't, then it feels like I did. Yeah, you did, yeah. I didn't really go much on it. Oh, of course, it's the music one, isn't it? Where there's a beat. Yeah. Yeah, it's got the beat to it, hasn't it? I didn't actually like it. Yeah, didn't like it. I didn't dislike it. There was nothing wrong with it. Just one of them things. It just wasn't for me. Anyone else here play it? Hello, Poots. Chuck it straight in the bin. You got a headache, yeah. It's all very lively, isn't it, this one? Oh, advance notice, that's right, because they just dropped this game with no notice at all, didn't they? Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Hello, Vipe, how are you? You're welcome here whenever you want, Vipe.
We've just seen a new trailer for updates coming to Hi-Fi Rush called Arcade Challenge Update. No joke, there's literally exclamation points in there. That's not just me. So here to explain that and more about the update is game director John Johannes. Welcome to Showcase Extended, John.
Really glad to be here.
Exclamation points?
Absolute junk. Melodies
They have to be in there.
Yeah. It feels
It's style. It's style. Yeah.
It's a style thing. Well, Hi-Fi Rush is such a stylish game in general. I think that's one of the things that
It's got
people
art
really
style.
excitedly
There's-
pointed out when
put the
we
tick in
shadow
there,
dropped
Matt.
the
There's
game
no doubt
in the
on
developer
that.
direct earlier this year. But making a brand new IP is always a bit of a risk. Your studio's known for kind of scarier games like The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo.
Can't deny that. But yeah, this type of game is something I just always wanted to make personally, and I just thought music and action work so well together. And after I
Let's get
finished
the
working on the
cheese
Evil
bingo
Within
sheet
2,
out.
it just felt like the right time to try something
Yeah, how are you,
new.
Vaughn? All good, mate.
And our studio's always been about just making fun games. It doesn't have to be about a certain genre.
Yeah.
We're not about making one
100%
specific thing.
And fortunately, there's plenty more of that content to come because we just saw an absolutely jam-packed trailer. So I'd love for your help in breaking
I'm sure it's a
down
good game. It
all
just
the
wasn't
details, all
really
the
for
stuff
me.
going into this update.
Sure. There's a lot, so bear with me. Everything in this mode is unlockable once you've finished the game, and you'll unlock an arcade cabinet in your hideout. And by accessing it, you get 2 new modes. One is called BPM Rush mode, which takes the gameplay up to like higher speeds than we've ever done in the main game. And the other is called Power Up Tower Up, which is a new sort of randomized spin on the rhythm tower mode that we had in the original game. And included in this mode are 5 new original songs to play to, as well as 2
Does his
brand new
t-shirt
enemies.
say sperm?
And then there's special attacks and this whole meta system for
Let's have a
unlocking
look.
upgrades and rewards. And that's all I can think of right now.
I love that there's so much
Oh, I missed it.
to
I
unpack
missed it.
there, but let's rewind. Let's talk about just BPM Rush for now.
Sure.
It was described in the trailer as effectively Hi-Fi Rush's equivalent of a turbo mode. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, early on, the team was like, how fast can we go? And in the game, we kind of settled at, about a max 160 BPM. But this mode really takes it up to 200 BPM. But we sort of ease
It
you
just
in
comes
there.
across
It's a
as
gradual
messy, doesn't it?
upgrade
It's just a
until
messy
it eventually
game.
gets so fast, you just got to sort of think on your feet and naturally react to the rhythm in the combat of the game.
I personally love that there's a lot of accessibility settings in the game too. It makes it so that you can adjust the game to your own comfort level. But this is a post-game challenge. It's meant for when you've gotten into the rhythm of the game. So I'm
Brilliant.
curious if you have any pointers on as far as how to tackle that challenge.
As an action
Yeah,
game,
too
I
much
think a
going
lot
on.
of people want that sort of next level challenge, another way to use their abilities
But again,
in a
it
new
was
type
on
of environment.
Game
This
Pass,
mode
and
does
they dropped
that
it
by
with
putting
no
you at the high
fanfare
speed. But we
at all,
also have
which,
multiple
made it a
difficulties.
little
We
bit
have an
sweeter.
easy mode for people who want to experience what that's like,
Wriggled
but
and jiggled
maybe
inside
are
her.
not in tune with that sort of high difficulty that's accompanied with this stuff. But then we have a
You're right,
casual
Poots, yeah.
normal mode as well. And then we have, after beating those modes, we can unlock an EX mode, which takes up to a hard level where damage
Yeah,
is
this doesn't
multiplied
excite me
and
at
keeps
all.
you at that high
Not
BPM
at all.
throughout the entire time.
But there already was a post-game challenge when Hi-Fi Rush launched. It was the Rhythm Tower mode. You mentioned that briefly earlier. That's the one where you face just increasingly difficult combat. So how has that evolved with the Power Up Tower Up mode?
So the Rhythm Tower mode was kind of like a very curated experience. And while it
So-
was very challenging, you can prepare, go in and sort of customize your character, know what you're getting into. And in this mode, we flip it to the almost opposite
Also, I
end.
don't think
Chai
it was
starts
very
off
interesting to
downgraded.
watch this
We
game
actually
either.
remove all your abilities, and you have
Because
to earn
there
them
is so
back
much
by
going on.
fighting waves of randomized enemy sets. And after every wave of enemies, you get to choose from a series of power-ups that can
But she can
gradually
walk on my
increase your
back with them
stats.
shoes.
Each of these upgrades comes with either bonus or
Mark
negative
Davis.
modifiers as well to the gameplay, so you can take more risks or less risks depending on which upgrades you pick. And again, those upgrades are randomized each level, so you really kind of have to have an understanding of the systems and not quite master them, but have a good grasp if you want to go in and come out on top.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, it was a really packed trailer. There was a lot of information in there. It's a
This is
chunky
easier waiting
update.
to happen.
So what else have you got for us? Because I feel like there's more on the table there.
Yeah, so by playing in the 2 modes, you unlock these rewards through these challenges that are connected to these 2 modes. And in those rewards are things like accessories for Chai and new costumes for Chai 808, and even as well as fan favorite Corsica. We have new modes for the photo mode as well. Things like new filters.
I think we discussed this when I played it. It's not really
new
made
poses
for
for
me.
the characters.
It's just not.
We have
So
stickers
that was
that you
fair
can place
enough.
on the photos now. And then there are some extra hidden secrets that we don't want to give away right now, which, as you know from our game, we like to hide in there and we like people to find, which is always fun. And then, in conjunction with this release, we're also releasing a separate costume pack, which is a kind of take on what the characters would look like if maybe this game took place in a different time period.
Ooh, oh God, he's starting to annoy me now.
And there's some really fun-looking stuff in there.
Still
well, thank you again so much for coming out all the way from Japan to showcase Extended, John.
I'm super glad to be here.
He's not Japanese.
That's all we have to share about the new update for Tango Gameworks' Hi-Fi Rush coming soon. Now it's time for us to return to the second era of Tamriel and the Elder Scrolls Online. ZeniMax Online Studios debuted the trailer for their upcoming expansion at Showcase, and today they're here to break that trailer down for us. Let's hear what the team has to say about the Necrom expansion for Elder Scrolls Online.
I have already streamed it on the channel over a couple of time periods, but I fancy giving it another go. Yeah, probably on the PlayStation 5.
Everyone, thank you so much for watching the Xbox Showcase. I'm Rich Lambert, the creative
director. When I played it
on
the
PC,
people were like, oh, you're not doing this on the PlayStation 5. We could play as well. So, yeah, maybe.
One of the really interesting things about Elder Scrolls Online is it's different than really any other game out there. It's not your typical level-gated
I like my time
world.
in it. I really did.
Go anywhere. You can explore in any order you want to.
You really can hop in at any moment, play with anybody, you can play any
really
part of the game.
And any story.
And of course, I mean, we're on Xbox Game Pass, you know, the biggest open world RPG on Xbox.
Yeah,
and
on
if
Game
you're
Pass.
at all
Crazy.
a fan of Elder Scrolls, you can go places that you maybe have never gone before in an Elder Scrolls game,
And do
right?
things that you've never been able to do. There's so many different activities to participate in. You know,
housing.
We've got lore hunting and antiquities, right? There's the dungeons and the trials.
And you can, of course, always revisit lands that you've been to before. We've got Skyrim, Morrowind.
Yeah, and they're different times. You know, we're almost 1,000 years in the past.
Come in by yourself, come in with friends.
Yeah, it's definitely making me want to play.
But don't worry that you're ever not going to have something to do, because there are adventures.
Yeah, you prefer
everywhere
new Elder Scrolls, but don't forget this is the MMORPG, GLBG, isn't it? You know, this is the online one. The new Elder Scrolls will be just
Hermaeus Mora?
like
What's
a
it all
Skyrim,
about,
isn't it?
Rich?
Hermaeus Mora is this Daedric god of knowledge. He's not good, he's not evil. He is just focused on cataloging the world and collecting everything he possibly can to study. And what you kind of see in the trailer is Mora kind of always on guard, always looking
I like the way they're
over
just
and
talking to
watching
each
what's
other.
kinda going on. And you get to see some nostalgia in there as well.
These guys have
Dragonborn,
never
you've
felt
seen
the touch of
Skyrim
a
with
lover.
the yellow-green skies.
The vast inky sea, the stacks of books.
Yeah, I will play
I'll still
this.
never forget the first time.
The
you
reason I
showed
say I
us
will, I've
the
already been sent a
initial
code, but I
concepts
just got to get around to it. But I will play
everything made out of books. I remember looking at that going, oh my God, how are we going to do this? Like, how is this going to run? And
we always try to honor the past, right? Because when we go back to areas that people who play Elder Scrolls games have played, they know these lands. We want them to feel like they're coming home, right? But
maybe they did after this interview whilst looking at each other.
The art team was able to really play with kind of cool, unique monsters.
Yeah, we were given some great places to go for new monsters.
I think I don't like the way that if you go back to the original lands, they look so much dated.
Creature that would kind of
if you compare them to the new ones,
terror
they don't touch the
as
old
soon as
stuff.
you saw it. And a creature that has a deeper connection to the overall story of the zone.
We've also got the Tavani Peninsula, kind of the Morrowind vibe.
It's always fun to go back to this part of Tamriel because it's one of the most imaginative and sort of like visually expressive things that has ever been created for an Elder Scrolls world. And then, of course, Necrom City itself.
This ancient city that, is rumored to have been built, even before the Tribunal was even established.
Right.
Being able to play with that and look at that architecture and this ancient city of the dead.
And you guys gave us a new class to do.
The Arcanist draws their powers from Hermaeus Mora. We really challenged ourselves.
I think my problem was when I played it on stream, I used to like to read all the dialogue,
like anything else
even on the side quests, and I don't think you really do that with this game. I don't know.
When do we actually get to play it?
Necrom launches on Xbox June 20th, and we can't wait for everybody to get in there and see this amazing content we've created.
Thanks everyone for watching us during the showcase and watching
exactly,
us
Matt. Yeah.
Lots of exciting stuff coming for ESO in the future.
He's checking. We have got exciting stuff. We have. Yeah, it's out on PC, I think, already, isn't it? Oh, okay. I don't know what to do. Is this what's it called? Me and Max played it on the PC. What's it called? Yeah, Phasmophobia. Is this it? Coming to console? Is it Phasy? Yeah, I think it is. We'll have to give that a go, won't we? Yeah. That's cool. That's coming on console. It's a great game, isn't it? I haven't played it a huge amount. Normally when I play it, I play with my my youngest son. I just hear him scream upstairs.
IBS World News.
番組をご覧の皆様、こんにちは。エグゾプライマルディレクターの平岡です。まずはじめに、3月に開催しました第1回オープンベータテストに多くのエグゾファイターの皆様にご参加いただきました。アンケートや SNS を通じてたくさんのフィードバックをいただいております。今後の開発に活用させていただきます。ご協力ありがとうございました。さて、カプコンショーケースはご覧いただけましたでしょうか。その中で発表しましたが、第2回オープンベータテストの開催が決定しました。詳しい日程や情報は公式サイトをご覧ください。それでは、ここからは番組をご覧の皆様に新情報を紹介します。まずはサベージガントレットという新たなモードです。サベージガントレットは内容が毎週切り替わる特別なミッションに5人で挑み、世界中のファイターとクリアタイムを競うというモードになっています。基本サバイバルとは違い、出現する恐竜やフィールドが遊ぶたびには変化せず、全世界のプレイヤーが同じ内容のミッションに挑みます。今回は恐竜が出現する位置にあらかじめトリプルスレッドを設置しています。出現してきたらこのようにスカイウェーブのグラビトンケージと合わせて起爆、一網打尽にできました。ミッションは画面上部に表示されている恐竜の討伐なのですが、サベージガントレットでは目標以外の恐竜が出現することが少なくありません。
Well, the Xbox is massive in Japan, though, isn't it? The PlayStation isn't. So yeah, we are going to get a lot of this stuff, which most of it is great.
プレイヤーの作戦次第です。目標を達成したら次のミッションへ。ゲームの流れはディノサバイバルと同じなのですんなり遊べると思います。何やら次のミッションに備えてエグゾスーツを着替えているようですね。なるほど。スナイパーネオソーが離れた位置に多く出現するのでビジラントに着替えたようですね。フレームネオソーも出現するのでクロストロックで動きを止めて集中攻撃のチャンスを作り出しますね。また一列に並んだ恐竜もブレードで仕留めしてから倒す作戦のようです。道中では大型恐竜が複数体出現することも。サベージガントレットはエンドコンテンツに相当するモードなので基本的にはミッションの難易度は高く設定されています。モジュールの強化、組み合わせはもちろんチームメンバーのスーツ構成などよく考えて挑んでみてください。サベージガントレットをクリアするとこのようにクリアタイムが表示されます。その後、自分のクリアタイムがどの程度かランクによる評価がされます。次はバリアントスーツを紹介します。バリアントスーツはデフォルトのエグゾスーツとは異なる性質の武器を装備しており、戦い方が変化したスーツです。 デフォルトのデッドアイはアサルトライフルを装備していますが、デッドアイアルファバーストファイヤーはショットガンとバースト射撃を切り替えられるバトルライフルを装備しています。
What are these dinosaurs
敵との
doing?
距離に応
What
じ
are we
て打
doing?
撃を切り替えながら
Where's
戦います。
humanity? What's going
他のバ
on?
リアントスーツも
Why are the
特別にちょっとだ
textures
け
so
お見せし
flat?
ますね。ゼファーアルファ、エナジーチャクラン、バラージュアルファ、
Yeah, not for
ロ
me.
ケットホップ、ビジラントアルファ、マークスマン、ロードブロックアルファ、フォートレスシール
It's a youngsters game, isn't it? I think we're safe to say. I don't think there's anything horrible
ド、
in
村雨
saying
アル
that.
ファ、フロストグレイブ、フリーガーアルファ、チャージショットガン、リッチドクターアルファ、デュアリティビーム。
They do love them,
Skywave
Taze.
Alpha,
They do
Thunder
love a
Grapple.
fucking dinosaur, don't they? Absolute trial. Oh god,
Nimbus
Melody's in a
Alpha,
bad mood
Double
tonight.
Barrel.
Look out. Oh, shoot the things on the back. It's really obvious. Oh.
バリアントスーツは発売後のタイトルアップデートで遊べるようになります。エグゾプライマルは発売後も定期的にアップデートを行
We
っていきます。
plan on
シーズン
updating
ごと
it.
に新たなゲームコン
Unless
テンツを追加してい
it
きま
bombs,
す
in
の
which
で
case
ご
we'll
期
turn the
待ください
servers off.
本日はありがとうございました。それではウォーゲームでお会いしましょう。レッツマッシブ。
Oh, fucking hell. Well, it's on Game Pass. That's the good thing. You could try that for an evening, couldn't you?
It's great to see the dedication from the team at Capcom and how they're building Exoprimal in partnership with the community. Gaming has the power to immerse us in worlds and perspectives we'd never otherwise experienced.
She's
we
back.
can fight dinosaurs, transport
That's
to a
the hands,
dystopian
isn't it?
future, explore the universe,
Was that
and
her?
conjure magic. And we get to do this together, no matter where we are on the planet, the language we speak, what we look like, or our
Brilliant.
physical abilities. That is why it is both an absolute imperative and an incredible
Let's
opportunity.
do it together.
The games represent
Do it with me.
all of us. That is why we created the ID at Xbox Developer Acceleration Program to help underrepresented creators and stories in the industry shine. We call it DAP. DAP already includes more than 100 emerging developers, and they've launched 30 incredible games like A Space for the Unbound, Validate, and HOA. And there are many,
I'm
many
happy
more
to,
in the works. Let's take a look at
Does she
these
want any,
amazing
does her?
games coming up next from ID at Xbox's Developer Acceleration
I'm quite happy to watch
Program.
the Forza straight after this. We'll keep this stream going, but it means a lot less time for F1. So it's up to you. Yes, I am interested in Forza. Absolutely. So if you want to watch it together, I don't mind carrying on this stream. Not a problem. She's made for 3 people. She's tipped to take over from Phil Spencer. Oh, okay. Forza Showcase. See if I can find that. We'll have a look in a minute. Forza Monthly it's called, isn't it? Oh god, that was the wrong one. I looked for it in the wrong window.
I got a call from my good friend Jorg Newman, the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator. He told me about this once-in-a-lifetime, out-of-this-world opportunity. So I'm here in Budapest,
Very
the capital
interested
of
in this.
Hungary. Jorg, he's around here somewhere. Let's go find
There's
him.
no searching in
Jorg!
history, don't worry.
Hey, Paris. It's great to see you.
Why is it really dark there?
Coming to Budapest. Of course. What am I doing here? I'll tell you on the way. We have a boat to catch.
No, I was looking in the wrong window.
We don't have
This
a plane?
one.
Nope. Come on, Paris.
Has anyone got the link for the Forza Showcase? Anyway, let's concentrate on this because this is important.
Jorg, what is this place? What kind of aircraft are you storing in here?
Dude, it's
A
much
terrible
cooler than that.
lighting.
right, Paris, are you ready for this?
You know I'm ready for this.
All right, let's go.
That's fucking all ready. It's in the Discord. Okay.
Welcome to the world of Dune.
This is incredible.
Come on, I want you to meet someone. Hey, how's it going?
How are you, man?
It's good to see you.
What's it in?
Paris, I would like to introduce Patrice
Tace?
Academy Award-winning production designer of Dune.
It is very nice
Is there
to
a
meet
link
you.
in there?
I'm a
can't see it.
huge fan of Dune. Now, Patrice, can you tell me, what is this place?
Well, this is the warehouse where we actually keep most of the props and the set deck elements that we used on Dune Part 1 and Part 2.
You got a white screen? No, you
Jorg,
haven't.
how did all this get started?
No.
So it goes back to November 2021. Dune had just hit the movie theaters worldwide, and we got a call from Legendary, and they had the idea that we bring an ornithopter into Microsoft Flight Simulator. And me being a lifelong science fiction reader and fan,
got you.
a
7
big,
minutes.
huge fan
Okay.
of the Frank Herbert books,
Okay,
how
cool.
could I say no?
Should we do that?
Okay, now it makes sense after seeing the trailer at the Xbox showcase. I understand
Right,
why
we're going to
you brought
flick
me here.
straight over to
You guys
this.
want to take a look because we
in
actually do
7
have a
minutes,
couple
although
of
they might have
ornithopters here
their
if you
own
want to see.
sort of
Take a
build
look.
up.
That would
but
be
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
White screen when you click off. Oh, okay. Right, let's do the Xbox. Let's do the Forza because we
Look
are
at
all
this.
interested in that, aren't we?
It's
It
a
just means a
one-on-one
little bit
wheel-sized
less
ornithopter.
F1
It's
time.
amazing.
Because I do need to go and have a
Thank
shower.
you. Denis likes things to
make
be
a cup of tea, then I'll get straight on.
plausible, so that's why they were built to look military, rugged, and stealth.
Now, here's the most important question. Were they built to fly?
Funny you mentioned, because I've been asked that question on a couple of occasions. No, they don't fly. They are heavy. They're 11 tons.
Wow.
So, Jorg, you had to get this working in the game. How did you do this in Flight Sim?
Yeah, it was actually interesting. So
Yeah.
in general, ornithopters can fly and do fly. This particular one, given that it weighs 11 tons, that's going to be a little bit harder, specifically because it's not really doing the ornithopter bird flap. It does oscillation of the blades, and we currently
like
don't
that.
have
That's
the material
pretty unique
science to
though,
get
isn't
the
it?
thrust and the lift. But on Arrakis, I think this is absolutely possible, and in Flight Sim, we made it work.
Patrice, we're here. Can we go in?
Absolutely. Right, let's do it. Normally we'd go in through the
Now
climbing
that's,
up
that's the
landing
sort of
gear,
rig I
but
want.
This will do.
Yeah, so what's cool about this, Paris, is that all those buttons are actually realistically hooked up to the system. Master engine
Wow.
switch, what you're doing there above
Oh,
those,
cool.
the red, are basically all the
Look
lights.
at that.
And as you notice, it's all analog because in the world of Dune, there's no thinking machines. Thinking machines have been illegal for 10,000 years.
Yeah, that was actually fascinating when we implemented it. Because it's a science fiction, we thought, oh, it's glass cockpits,
Yeah.
everything is going to be computerized. Like, none of it is. This is a very practical helicopter, almost like from the 1960s.
That's a
So,
flight
Jorg,
rig.
in the first movie, the Thopter was able to do a lot of cool moves and maneuvers. You're going to be able to reproduce that in Flight Sim?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, the really cool design that you guys came up with is each blade is independently controlled. So each blade has its own lift and thrust. And that means it can go from a really stable hover to a steep dive and back to a glide instantaneously. I would just say thank you that you designed such an awesome and realistic machine, because that's what we do. We bring realistic machines to
I'm
life.
not really
But
interested
if you want
in
to
this,
see a little
but
bit
I am
more about the
interested
game
in
design,
the working
I have
aspect
something
of
for you.
Microsoft Flight
Absolutely, I'd
Sim.
love to see.
The dropping off stuff to the oil rig, all that. Oh, really interested in that.
All right, so the setup for this expansion is that you are a Atreides pilot on Arrakis flying an ornithopter. Here is what we built. We basically built this section of Arrakis. Here's the capital city of Arkeen. Here's the botanical garden, we have that as well. And the first thing we do is we train you up. The fast takeoff, fast landing, and then the deep dive. And then we take you to some of the
That dive does look cool.
extreme locations, like the bow of the cliff, the hole in the rock, the red chasm.
They're certainly doing
Really
a lot
have
of
to show
flight
your
sim, aren't
pilot
they?
skills.
They
And
really
then,
are.
towards the end, then there's a secret mission, which I can't talk about today, but that basically wraps up the experience. It's gonna be great.
Super exciting. Hey,
It was great to see you again.
Paris.
Right, the other stream has
Thank you.
started.
Thank you so much,
So we'll just keep an eye on that.
All right, Jorg.
Oh, God.
Where to next?
Well, I don't know what they eat on Arrakis, but this is Budapest, and I hear they have excellent goulash. I know a place.
Let's go.
Oh god, that is cheesy, isn't it? Yeah, exactly what I believe you were saying. Yeah, yeah. I know exactly what you mean, Booth, yeah. It was me. Of course it was me. There's nothing to do in the game. Landing challenges and go make your own game. I don't want to. Give me stuff to do, like go and take this to an oil rig, go and deliver this. All day long, all day. Right, as soon as that Forza starts, we're going to flick over there. It's live now. Absolutely, Derek. Cringe. Right, I'm going to nip to the little boy's room, get comfortable for some Forza. We'll do this. It's all good. I'm happy if you are. Back in 2 seconds.
Liza P. is a thrilling Souls-like that takes the story of Pinocchio, turns it on its head, and sets it against the darkly elegant backdrop of the Belle Epoque era.
Finally, we meet.
You are awakened by a mysterious voice.
Can you hear me?
You must adapt yourself and your weapons to face untold horrors, untangle the unfathomable secrets of the city's elites, and choose whether to confront predicaments with the truth or weave lies to overcome them on the journey to find
Now it's take off, get bored and land, yes.
You are able to create
there's
your
a demo
own
for this, isn't
with
there?
a combination
Yeah,
of
there's a
these
demo.
blades and handles. Of the hundreds of possible combinations with different respective appearances, performances, attack motions, and patterns.
Right, shall we go over to
handle
Forza
has
now?
its
Are you up
distinctive
for that?
Fable Arts. Fable Arts is a special combat skill that can be casted by consuming Fable
think it's
slots.
more
Fable
us, isn't
slots can be charged again through combat.
Technical excellence and sophisticated modern design.
Let's do it.
To take bold steps into the future and bring that experience to gamers. I'm thrilled to welcome the
This was a
Cadillac
great
V-Series
transition
.R
on their showcase,
and the
wasn't it?
Corvette E-Ray to the home of competition.
I'm really up for this. I'm really up for it.
I know
Yeah, let's
you're
move
ready.
over.
You've got this.
Brum brums for the win. See what I mean? At the moment, we are spoiled at the moment. We really are.
Let's tweak the car's performance for the next one.
There's a lot going on in the gaming industry. A lot. It's been dry for a while, but it's happening. I think it's really happening. They always have a poster card, don't they?
That was your best lap yet.
I used to love Forza. Forza 1, 2 and 3 really were my... Definitely Forza 1 and 2. Amazing. Yeah, definitely mine. I'm sure it will drivel free.
And welcome to this very special edition of Forza Monthly, live from the Peterson Automotive Museum here in Los Angeles. This has already been an incredibly exciting week for the Forza team, but we are just getting started.
Stream seems low
I'm
quality.
joined
It's
by
not mine,
Chris
it's
Sasaki,
theirs.
the creative director for Forza Motorsport. He's here to bring you some brand new and highly anticipated Forza Motorsport
cool.
details
What box
throughout
is
the whole
that?
show. First of all, Chris, hello,
Okay,
welcome
I
to
want
the
that.
Peterson. It is incredible here, isn't it?
This place
Yeah,
is
they've always done this monthly, yeah.
incredible. Like, I actually just want to just keep walking around and just walk off this actual whole thing and cancel Forza Monthly and just
We've got
spend time here.
some time
don't.
alone
This is
here
what
in
you
the
paid
vault
for.
Because this vault is massive too.
It is. It's super cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super cool and
Steve-o,
wonderful to be
you're
here
right.
and finally
You're right.
actually for the first time be in person with each other. That's super cool.
I know. I mean, I've been hosting this for 3 years now, and in that time, I think I've interviewed you a lot.
Yeah.
And I've still not met you in person until today.
So this is super cool.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so we
That's what
got
restraining
to
orders do
finally
for you.
reveal the release date for our players at the Xbox Showcase. So that was really cool. And I really just wanted to.
Well, I'm
welcome
happy
our
watching this if you are.
players,
It's all
to
right,
the
isn't
new
it?
era of Forza Motorsport. And for the team back at the studio, and for all of our fans, this is the moment that I know everyone's been waiting for, and just buzzing with excitement to finally be able to talk about some of these game details. And it's amazing to be able to do that here at the Peterson.
Absolutely. I mean, what better venue?
I want to
talk
know
about
what that
Forza?
is.
The Peterson is one of the most impressive car museums in the world, and we are fortunate enough to be in their storied vault, surrounded by an incredible collection of cars that have left their mark in the automotive world, enough to make, I think, any car fan drool.
Well,
Not to
look at
mention
those
these
shoes,
two
though.
mystery
I'm well, Joe. I
vehicles
want them.
behind us, but we'll get to that later on. First, let's take a look at the schedule, because we've got a really, really good show lined up for you today. Of course we have. In just a few minutes, Chris Asaki will be giving us a full gameplay walkthrough of the new Forza Motorsport career mode, Builders Cup.
That'll be
Then
interesting.
we'll send you over to Playground Games for a sneak preview of the next Forza Horizon 5 update, which features the return of Donut Media.
I'm a bit
And
bored
after
of
that,
Forza
community
Horizon.
race organizer Racing Haven shares their off-season plans with AliTac in our community spotlight. And then Chris has more Forza Motorsport news for you, including that mystery reveal I mentioned earlier. So do stick around.
Yeah,
until the
cool.
end of the
I'm up
show.
for that.
Now, before we get started, there's one more thing I need to mention, and that is about this RC model car right here in front of
Yes.
me. Because New Bright has partnered with Turn 10 Studios to bring you RC vehicles inspired by Forza Horizon and Forza Motorsport Racing series.
Nice.
This particular RC vehicle is modeled after the Cadillac V-Series
No shit.
R, which is one of the cover cars for Forza Motorsport. So while you won't be able to get behind the wheel of the stunning 2023 #1 Cadillac Racing V-Series R until the game releases on October 10th, this yet-to-be-released model could be yours today. All you have to do is enter ! giveaway in the Twitch chat for a chance to win. And then stay tuned for the drawing at the end of the show. We'll be
Total
selecting
luggage
at random
allowance.
one lucky Twitch viewer to take it home. So good luck.
We're not
Enter
watching on
! in chat. Now, let me breathe. There's a lot there. Now, Chris, we know the Forza community has been eager to know more, of course, about the single-player career mode experience in Forza.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Motorsport.
interested in that,
And as
yeah.
promised, you do have something very special for us today.
Yeah, the team has been incredibly hard at work.
She's like up there, and he's
reimagining
like trying to
motorsport.
bring it down, isn't he?
We're finally releasing all these details, and we're super excited to show you the heart of the new game through our single-player career mode, the Builders Cup. We built an incredibly accurate simulation and built a new core loop around celebrating this deep simulation through the car mastery system and through competition. So for the career, we've taken elements from things like Forza Motorsport 3 and 4 and genre blended it with RPG progression. And there's a mountain of new here, and we're all about to get a look at this new era of motorsport.
Excellent. We are actually going to show you the demo now, but don't go anywhere afterwards, because Chris and I will be back immediately after the video to discuss everything related to the Builders Cup in much more detail. Enjoy.
So we've got detail,
Hey
and then
everyone,
we've got detail.
I'm Chris Asaki, Creative Director of Forza Motorsport. And I'm joined by Tyler Hennessy, talented developer on our team, who'll be driving the demo today for us. Everything you see
On
today
controller.
is production code running on an Xbox Series X, and all of the gameplay you'll see is at 4K 60 with true Gen 9 graphics.
Nice.
Forza as a franchise has always been about falling in love with cars.
Are you off?
Forza Motorsport has been doing that through the thrill and intensity of competition. Today, you'll get to see our bold new
All right, Eva,
take
come here.
on falling in love with cars that's comprised of 3 major themes. First theme is about getting to know a car, finding its limits, and building that level of car mastery. The second is about taking that car and
I wouldn't
building
wanna
it
play it
into
with
that
controller.
track dominator that you've always wanted. And finally, it's about taking that car, competing with it, and winning with it on the track. That is the new Forza Motorsport loop. Level, build, dominate. And there's no better way to check out this new level, build, dominate loop than in our all-new career mode, the Builders Cup. The Builders Cup has a new rhythm of racing that includes an open practice a new challenge of the grid system, and of course, a featured race.
Oh, we're
going to
start the
all
race
of that today,
at the
as
back,
well as
like
our
we do in
car
bloody
progression systems,
GT7,
and of course
I
our
hope
car
not.
building. So let's dive in. So this is the Builder's Cup. This career mode is always fresh and surprising. New cars are revealed and released by manufacturers all the time.
Lovely. Oh,
we wanted our career mode to reflect this ever-changing landscape of
There's
cars.
my Testarossa.
And you can see here, there's a bunch of new icons on some of these racing series. So for the first time in Forza Motorsport, new cars and tracks will be released directly into this career. The Builders Cup will shift, change, and evolve with all of this new content. Behind each of these cool posters is a racing series where you'll get to take a single car and level it, build it, and dominate your way to victory. The cars in each series have exciting automotive stories that we want you to experience and is your gateway to find cars to fall in love with. This is the Built for Sports series. It's made up of modern sports car masterpieces like the new Supra, as you can see, the Porsche Cayman GTS, or the new Nissan Z. And today we're going to be jumping in with the new Z for our look at the Builders Cup. Now, each of these series has a cool intro that highlights their automotive story and might just give you that reason to pick one and maybe fall in love with it. So let's check it out.
Show us.
Every year, manufacturers set out
do you remember when they did
a car of the
Top Gear?
that defines
I didn't
who
like
they
it
are.
at all.
Cars that are nimble, well-engineered, with a futuristic design aesthetic.
Didn't like it at all.
Not exclusive automotive fantasies. Desirable, attainable. Each offering a welcome invitation for a motivated, hard-driving enthusiast to get in, buckle up, and then define who they are at the absolute limit on the racetrack.
So the Builders Cup has
Slow
a
down,
new
mate.
rhythm of racing.
He's like, I can't show you any of
Every event
this.
in the Builders Cup features an open practice session. An open practice is where you put the work in to find the limits of your car. And it's never been more fun, engaging, or rewarding to just drive your car and push it to its limits.
Fucking love car.
After the final tight hairpin turn 16, Ingwe, you'll accelerate onto the long straight, where you'll be able to catch your competition.
So I like to think that the relationship with your car is forged at speed, at the limit. We've created a bunch of new systems that help you find that limit, build that relationship, and reward you for it.
Oh, God, third
I'm going to let Tyler drive for a little bit here so you can kind of see the 4K 60 visuals and all of our remastered audio.
Oh, God, that steering wheel, though, looks terrible with the hands. Oh, no. Oh, shit. That looks really wooden. Still, give it a chance. Give it a chance. Hey, it's got that view. That's good. I like that.
What you're seeing here is our new car mastery system. Each corner is now a moment-to-moment objective where you get to see how fast you are through them, how close you are to the limit with your car. Each time you go through a given corner, it will compare you against your best time through it, and it helps you master your car. This also gives car XP, and you can see that in the top right here. Your car is now gaining XP.
The stream is it's not a very high quality stream,
and
so we're
leveling
not
up
getting.
in real time.
I don't mean me. I mean them.
You're getting faster.
You're not getting the
you're
full
understanding
impact.
the car's limits, and your car is leveling up
so
and
Delta,
growing
yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Your relationship with your car is forged at speed.
It does, Scud, yeah.
This
There's
is the
nothing wrong
core
with
of
it,
our car
does it?
progression.
It needs it, yeah.
And it's now the heartbeat of our game. And I like to think of it as a car PG.
Car PG. Whoever said that first, can you imagine? Yes, I like it.
Our new track dynamics can always shift and change. And for the first time, we have fully dynamic time of day and weather on every track. No two laps ever look or play the same. So Tyler's going to pull off on the side of the road here, and we're going to take a look at
That looks horrible
time
so
of day
far.
and weather settings.
Literally like no other Forza, like every other Forza. But of course, we're not seeing it in its fullest.
These dynamics challenge you to master your car, hour by hour, dry or wet.
I mean, that's nice.
This makes open practice that much more valuable to get you ready to take on the competition during the race.
It doesn't look very real, does it?
So let's end practice and move into the next beat into the Builders Cup, which is Challenge the Grid.
It's got an art style to it. Don't really want that.
This is all new, and I'm really excited about this. Challenge the Grid is all about dialing in the racing challenge that you want, and it's never been more fun or engaging. All of the challenge options are here at your fingertips, and they all affect your payout.
That's good. I like
so you can actually choose where you want to begin.
Yeah, it looked cartoony,
or
but
start the race.
It's not at the highest standard. It's only 1080p. Pretty shitty stream, actually.
And
so
damage settings, if you like. And all of
don't
that
judge
can
it
change your
yet.
payout. Challenge the Grid lets you choose the exact
It almost looked like the
risk-reward
car had
balance
cell
that you
shading
want in the
around it.
race.
It didn't look real, did it?
So let's jump into the featured race. Looks like we're starting mid-pack here. So you've gotten to know the car track combo and open practice.
This is all nice. I love all this
you
presentation.
feel good about the
love
gameplay
that.
balance that you've dialed in with Challenge the Grid.
We need to see some race cars,
now
really, I
it's
think.
time to battle it out on the track with the rest of the field to see who comes out on top. So you're seeing here is a field of drivatars populated with your friends, their cars, and their liveries. All of this is constantly
Tom and Jerry.
updating with their latest creations
I think
and
so,
customizations.
That's what I'm saying.
So
just
even when you're racing in Builders Cup,
expectations.
you're connected to your friends. Racing has never been
Did
better
that just say no
with our
signal on
overhauled
there?
physics and AI. The AI Drivatar technology has big advancements. Our new machine learning powered AI is as fast as the fastest real drivers without any cheats or hacks to keep them competitive. Without these cheats,
something about the look of
the racing has never been so immersive. You can trust that anytime you're pulling them in a straight, you're actually out
doesn't
driving.
seem to be any pop-up, which is nice. Come
Our
on, go
physics
interior.
have big advancements as well. We have an entirely new tire model that features a 48x jump in fidelity. We've also rebuilt the suspension, weight, and aero modeling. The simulation has never been more accurate, and the cars feel incredible to drive.
Yeah.
You can see some of the tight racing here is all thanks to all of the new AI improvements.
Come on, show internal. Yeah, I think it's purely because of the stream. I'm not even going to judge it in my mind. It's not fair, I don't think. Like Poot said, of course, this is going to look bollocks, isn't it? It just doesn't on this stream. I don't know why they continue to show these first.
So I know the racing's exciting.
I just don't know.
And as much as I'd like to watch this, we only have a short time here, so let's go ahead and finish up the race.
He's really exciting, this geezer, isn't he?
So here are the race results, where you get to see your series points that lead into the overall trophy for the series. But you also get to see how you're doing in the overall Built for Sport Racing series.
Oh, come on, that's just
you get your
standard
driver
stuff.
XP here, your credits payout, and your car XP. After
You drove
every
it
event
third
in the
person.
Builders Cup, you have a chance to build up your car and continue your journey with it. And you can see here, we've just unlocked a number of upgrades that you can go and install in your car. So let's actually go and check out our new car building screen. Cars in the new Forza Motorsport are built, not bought. Your bond with your car is earned. It's the work you've put in to find its limits.
Okay.
As your car levels up, it gains car points and unlocks upgrades.
That's an interesting
Here, up in the top right, you can see your car points, and that's the resource that's used to install
So you
any of
can
the
make
upgrades
it
that
into
you
like a
unlocked.
GT3 thing?
Car points are like skill or talent points in other games. You can allocate them to install a part, but here's the thing. You aren't locked into any of those choices at any time.
Fuck me, that's all.
You can easily uninstall a part and regain those car points so you can use those points elsewhere. It's like being able to endlessly respec a character. This gives the player a great amount of agency in building experimentation. Also, since you aren't spending credits on upgrades, the Built Not Bought system frees you from having to decide between, say, buying a cool new car or upgrading your current car. Now with these upgrades installed, we can
You
go to
must
the
be able
next
to buy
event
some
and
cars
see how
now.
this car build feels on the next track and get ready to dominate. And that's a single event in the Builders Cup. So you got to see our
Right,
open
come on,
practice
show us
where you
something
find the limits of
like
your car
this. Yeah, show
and
us something
level it
like
up.
this.
A new Challenge the Grid feature where you can dial in the racing challenge that you want. And of course, our featured race where the racing has never been better. And finally, our car building where your car is built, not bought. That's the new Forza Motorsport loop. Level, build, dominate. And the Builders Cup is just a small part of this big game. We have an all-new featured multiplayer mode. Rivals, Time Attack, and of course Free Play all make the return to the game. And we'll be diving into the details of these other modes in the months to come, so stay tuned. The new era of Forza Motorsport begins on October 10th, and we can't wait for you to get your hands on it.
I'm not convinced with this
Thanks, everyone.
loop, I'll be honest. Yeah. Okay.
There we go. That was our gameplay walkthrough of the Builders Cup, the new single-player career mode in Forza Motorsport. Such an incredible demo, and it will be posted to the Forza YouTube after the show, so you can rewatch it as many times as you'd like. Now, Chris, between all of the new gameplay features and the gameplay, the Builders Cup is like a reinvention of the Forza Motorsport experience, right? And there's a lot to unpack.
It doesn't sound like ranked,
so
Molly. It's got to have
you've
ranked,
been
isn't it?
showing
It's
a
got
single-player
to.
demo with press and leaders from the community, and there are quite a few topics that have come up that players might be interested in. So why don't we talk a little bit about those, and then we can talk
Because
a bit
it's
more about
very
detail
easy
about
to-
what to expect from the gameplay experience.
In GT7 to lose,
All right, excellent. So let's
to
get
upgrade
into
to the
it.
point where
Can
you
tell us
dominate
a
and then
bit
go and
more
win.
about how
That loop
monetization works in Forza Motorsport?
Yeah, that loop is.
Could you have started with an easier question?
Difficult questions first.
That loop is nothing exciting at all.
So similar to the offerings we've had for recent games in the Forza franchise, we'll have a premium edition of the game available with a bunch of add-ons for players, just like car packs and car pass. So in addition to these things that players can buy, we'll be regularly adding new cars and tracks to the game for free after launch. Also, we aren't selling car upgrade points or credits. There are no random drops or loot boxes.
Good.
So cars and upgrades are all earned by your play,
Like that.
other than those car pass and car pack cars.
Okay, all right, sounds fair to me. Thank you for those details. And I don't think the questions get much easier, so I'm sorry. But the next question is around online connectivity. So what
It's
are
just
your
not a very
thoughts
good
around
quality
how this
stream.
shows up in
Not from
Forza
my
Motorsport?
end, from their end. The stream just isn't very good.
Stuff out of the
Yeah.
way.
Just do that first.
So I wouldn't totally judge
the
it.
game has been designed to easily adjust and add new content over time. And that's really to ensure a fair and secure experience anywhere in the game. So any progression in the game will be stored on our servers to support the integrity of the overall game experience. And there are options for playing offline. So things like free play is always available, but any progression requires an online connection.
Okay, and we will have much more to say about the
Online
feedback
only,
experience
people
later
go
this summer,
crazy
so
about
just stay
that.
tuned for those
So
details.
what?
But next,
Sorry,
let's move
but
on
so
to
what?
the gameplay experience, because I absolutely love RPG games, and this idea of like leveling up your favorite cars to unlock new upgrades, it really stood out to me in the video. It's quite unique. So can you tell me more about how the car progression works in Forza Motorsport?
Yeah, got a little taste of it there in the video, and this is truly the new heart of Forza Motorsport.
Chuck on enough
Car
upgrades till you
mastery
beat the
is this
AI.
heart of Forza Motorsport.
Is that what
And
they're
it
saying?
powers both the career mode in the game as well as every other mode in the game. Before I go too deep there, I think it's good to provide a little context and step back and
not
look
new,
at
is it,
the
Poops?
previous generations of motorsport. So Forza Motorsports 1 through 7 really leaned heavily on things like car collection to really prove out and give.
And I
that
suppose that's
player
what
the
GT7's
sense
doing, so they're going the other way.
falling in love with cars.
Yeah.
And we love that. We thought it was great, and that was actually what I consider is the previous era of motorsport. This new era of motorsport is really about car progression and car mastery.
Yeah, which I love.
And you
that
saw
sounds good.
the car progression systems. It's a bit like an RPG where cars start at level 1. You're defeating enemies as corners, gaining XP for them, and leveling your car up and unlocking new parts. And every car is kind of like a character or a hero.
What stupid explanation.
This really is a new and super fun and rewarding gameplay loop. And I do want to reiterate, we have an incredibly accurate simulation underneath the hood. And of course, you can play this on wheel and gamepad, and all feels great. The cars have never felt more accurate. It's a truly deep simulation. But there's this new game layer on top of it, which is about pushing you to your limits and pushing you to find the limits of the car. That's the new car mastery system. And we've just gamified that whole loop of feeling great to just drive the car to its limits, feel these new physics, and really just love the car because it's just feels so great to drive.
And you saw some of these other things. Oh yeah, levels, they unlock new upgrades and parts and upgrades for you. They give you car points, so it's this new resource, right? So instead of spending credits on the upgrades, you're actually unlocking these car points to spend and reallocate as you wish. So, so it's a whole new system, it's a whole new economy. And once again, it is the new era of motorsport. It's a very different system, but it's super fun.
Is there like a max level you can get to with each car?
They're trying to reinvent the game, which I
max
suppose
level
is their
of cars
job,
is
isn't
50.
it?
And you know, it takes around a couple hours, maybe 3 hours, depending on how well you drive, to reach that max level. That doesn't mean that you the parts that you're looking for or the upgrades you're looking for are locked behind level 50. But it unfurls in front of you when we really want this whole system to be about understanding what that car was, what it was designed to feel like, just right off the showroom floor. So you get a chance to build that relationship, know its in and outs, understand how each car has incredibly different characteristics, even though they may have.
This is annoying me now. I'm just not feeling it from them.
So
it's like when you hear
because of all these new physics.
Kaz talk about,
really
not my missus, but
get to know those
Kaz
cars,
talk about
level them up,
GT7, you
and really
believe
feel
it,
like
don't
you've
you?
built a
It's
bond
not
with
believing
them
it from
over
them,
time.
but
Right, and you
we
can
will
like level
see.
up in like multiplayer and then free play and
yeah,
rivals.
yeah. Like I said, it
Hello,
is
Lee,
the
how are
heart
you?
of the new game.
They're making it
It's
sound
not just
less
in the career mode,
interesting
it's
the
not
more
just in
they
single
talk
player.
about
So
it.
anywhere in the game that you're playing, anytime you're in the seat of a car, it's leveling up, it's gaining experience. So that's the
Oh, I hope we
multiplayer
see it on the
mode,
screen
that's in
all the
free
time.
Play, that's in Rivals, that's in, of course, the career mode here. So the core of the game is now getting into a car, they start at level 1, and you're just building that level of car mastery and that bond with every car that you're in and every second that you're in it with it.
Great, and then you can bring them into Builder's Cup and continue your journey.
No, absolutely.
as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So I think some people have, in these press demos that we were given, some of them were asking, oh, well, can I bring a car that I leveled in, say, free play or in multiplayer into Builder's Cup? And the answer is absolutely. And there's a lot of details here. We have both the car groupings.
But this,
that
like
you
Poot
says,
says, this has always been the
Built for
Forza
Sport
way. You
series.
can upgrade
That's a
your car
select
as much
set of
as you
cars
want.
that has a specific automotive
You know,
story,
before you push it
and
over
we
to
want
the
you to
next
experience
class, you
that.
just
But we
take
also have some
an upgrade
open
off
class
and
racing
back.
that you can,
You're top of that class.
You've leveled up a car, you want to take into the B class racing or an A class racing. Those series are there as well, so your journey can continue with
Don't get
any
me
of
wrong,
those cars.
I'm definitely
And
excited for
additionally,
this.
Hey, maybe you played
I don't
it
think
in
this
a Rivals
monthly has
event, or
done
maybe
anything
you
good
played
for
it
the
in
game.
multiplayer, and leveled the car up. You can bring those
Make
cars
something
if
new,
they're
yeah,
available in
yeah,
the Builder's Cup.
yeah,
you
you're
can bring
right.
those leveled cars into them.
Amazing. It's your car.
Yeah.
It's your
Hope not,
experience.
Derek.
You are bringing it with you the whole way,
Absolutely,
which
yeah.
is really awesome. And many Forza fans, I'm sure if you're watching, you're already quite familiar with how each individual part affects the car. However, in the video, we see that there's a lot of changes to the upgrade screen. So what should car builders look out for in particular here?
Yeah, I mentioned there's a lot of new here, so so forgive me for diving in some of these details. There's so much new, and there's a lot of, I think, player expectations around, oh, it should work like this, or it used to work like that. There's so many new systems. Everything has been reimagined, rethought.
They're really overcomplicating it, aren't
bear
they?
with me on,
But at
on
the
some
same
of these
time,
details.
trying to oversimplify
So yeah,
it.
every car starts at level 1.
As you said.
And as you level it up, specific parts and part categories, rather than like specific parts,
Oh
but
my
part
God.
categories, like say exhaust or camshafts or something like that, the part category will unlock at specific levels. And all cars have the same parts unlocking at the same level. So whether it's a Cadillac Series V-Series.R or whether it's a humble grocery getter,
Wow.
every level will unlock the same part categories for you to go and mess with and experiment with. So even though those part categories are all unlocked at the same levels across all of the different cars, each car is going to have its own journey because some cars have other parts that certain cars don't. For an example, of course, a rotary engine is not going to have camshaft upgrades, but you can understand this is all simulated, and so
Now I'm
these
just
details
bored.
all play out, and each individual car is going to have its own journey, its own story, its own adventure.
Yeah, of course, 'cause you can't put
as
turbo
go
on
with
everything.
it and build it into that track dominator.
Excellent.
There
And then
you
how
go.
do you track that? Like, is there a way
See you
to
later, darling.
see like the
Have fun.
balance of everything you've added together?
Also, yeah, I think some of you may have noticed, yes, it's a new upgrade screen. And one of the elements there was something we call a spider graph, and that was on the right side. And it gives you these different elements of things like braking and handling, cornering, that sort of thing, to really start to understand what your car is balanced towards. And over time, I think
that's a good point, Cyber. Yeah. So you have to earn the level to unlock certain parts instead of GT7,
how you like cars to drive,
where you just learn earn the money.
So maybe it's a really well balanced graph, or maybe it's really, really dialed in on straight line performance. And you'll see that on this graph grow and shift over time, and so you can see how your car is changing over time. But more importantly,
so you can't just go in and
to help players
I'll get that.
really understand how
chuck
all
everything
these
on
things
it. Now I go and
the
race
car.
it. You're going to have to level up each car. Car PG?
Yeah, you could spend so many hours just trying to figure out how to dial in all these different options you have.
Amazing. And then, there'll be different components for each car, right? Like you've got the street component or the sport version of it, and you've got to unlock each part individually, right?
Right.
Well, she's at her depth now, yeah?
We
can all agree on that.
The part categories, right? So you'll unlock the different levels of, say, the exhaust all at the same time. So the exhaust has been unlocked, and that gives you a lot more leeway and options to really dial in that level.
It's fine.
Of
It's fine. Move on. What else you got? Give me the track list.
Well, next
What's
we're going
going
to talk
on?
about PI. Now, first we're going to explain what PI actually is for people who might be newer to Forza, and then we're going to talk about if you've made any adjustments to how PI works in Forza Motorsport.
Yeah, PI is a really core thing to Forza. It really helps you get a good idea of how this car performs, basically the lap time that this car will have. So the lower a PI is, the slower a car's lap time.
Yeah, I think it's performing
projected
index,
lap
isn't it?
time is going to be, the higher ones are going to be faster on the track. The PI system is still there. For the Builders Cup career
Pretty
mode,
much, Geiger.
we
Yeah, it
really
might be
are
worth
leaning
scrolling
heavily
back for
on
that.
the
Yeah.
PI system to help
No,
us balance
please
and
don't
progress
explain what it
players
is.
through it. So each racing series has its own progression of PI. So one racing series may start at around an average of, say, 300 PI, and you'll build upwards progressively through each race to, say, maybe a 500 PI. And you'll get to stepwise go through each of those changes as the car unfolds in front of you and is now a much faster car at the end of it. And similarly, maybe you start at 400 and work your way to 550 or 600. In a certain racing series, PI is there to help you kind of balance this all out and understand.
It's still better than the PlayStation Showcase, though, isn't it?
This is the Builders Cup, and we're really encouraging players to experiment and try different things out. But it's all balanced with this PI system. So you're building towards a PI target in every race.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's 350, sometimes it's 375, sometimes
this
it's 700.
This is all wrong, isn't it? This is wrong.
It allows you to really think about, I've got all these options, and now I can figure exactly how I want to try this out to meet that PI limit.
Yeah,
but then I suppose
like
this is Forza Monthly. This is
that guideline.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one of the
but
things
he's talking
that I
to us as if we know nothing.
That people will start understanding is the level of replayability in the game. And I think a lot of people.
See, that's what a racing game's all about: replayability, isn't it? They don't get it.
And you, by the way. And a lot of the things that people do is replay games, and they do challenge runs or fun runs or that sort of thing. Well, we have this whole new car progression system, so you can imagine I'm going to play the Built for Sport series again, but I'm not going to level or spend more points than blah, or I'm going to do a level 1 run or that kind of thing, right? So you can challenge yourself again across all of the whole career mode to dial in exactly the level of racing challenge that you want. Whether you want it to be full simulation with damage and tire wear and fuel settings and all
like every other
necessary
game.
Pit stops, or you could just turn all that off and just have a really fun race and have shorter experiences where you're not really worried about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool, because I mean, here on Forza Monthly, we do a lot of community spotlights. We talk to community members, and a lot of those people are streamers, and they love setting challenges for themselves, for the communities, and like having something new to do, something new to achieve.
People know this. This is Forza
like
Monthly as well.
Kind of
it's on the Forza channel.
Exactly.
That's amazing. So let's talk about maybe players who don't want to manually select upgrades, because it could be maybe quite overwhelming if you're like, what does that even do? How is that going to affect what I'm doing? I just don't know what to pick. Is there like an option to upgrade automatically?
Well, the short answer is yes. We have an easy button. you can auto upgrade. And just a quick note on that. Yeah, the auto upgrade, what it does is it tries to optimize for a balanced build. So it's going to try to it's going to try to balance that build out and not push you in one direction or another. really what that means is your car is always going to have.
But a bit like GT7, this is what we're buying
drivability
into. It's
as
got to
it
be
progresses,
accessible
rather
for
than like,
everyone.
oh,
It'll
it's
never
all
be the
just straight
hardcore
line
sim
speed
that
and torque, and
I
now
want.
people
It'll
are like,
never
oh, well,
be
I
it.
can't handle
Never.
this anymore, right?
Yep.
The auto build is really there to help you explore how cars can unfold over time with the deep upgrade system. So, you know, this is one of the great things about this system is that we've always had a deep simulation. Forza's always had an incredible car building and deep simulation for the game. But a lot of the times, it hasn't really been.
I mean,
not
are they
only
talking
deeply
about the
integrated
livery
into the career
editor?
mode,
That
but
was
more
always good on
importantly,
Forza,
it's
wasn't it?
hard to get
Always.
into it. There's a lot of barriers of entry for players to understand the depth there. It can be intimidating, right? Especially if you're a novice with cars and don't even know what a camshaft is, right? So this system, because we have this auto build function, like boom, you can click that button and it starts to let you know, oh, here's what has been installed. And then you can, as a player, if you want to dive in a little bit deeper into the simulation, start to unpack, okay, well, they installed this part. What does that part actually do? Why did they install that? And then you can read about it, learn more about it. And
Or
maybe
just read
even
about it,
uninstall
learn more about it, and put it on
then
yourself.
see how it changes the car here and there. And so that's really a big part of this loop. You know, you put all these different parts on, what's going on? Well, how did the car change? You go to open practice, and then you check this all out, and then maybe you didn't like to put this air filter on or these new tires on, and it just completely changed the car in a way you didn't want it to. Go back and rebuild your car and get back on open practice and try it out again.
And combined with like the enhanced physics and everything, you can actually really feel the effect of everything.
Everything. Yeah, and you know, a quick note, because I think our our audio guys will appreciate that, and they always kick me to promote the amazing work that they've done. So it's not just this deep simulation that's affecting just car performance and how it handles and that thing, which is amazing. There's so much deep stuff there. But one of the great things that we've done with the audio system is that every part that could change the audio in your car will now change the audio in your car, and they all interact separately. So if you put, say, new camshafts, we just talked about that, a new air filter, some new exhaust, all of those things will work together. Each of those components will change the sound of your car.
True in the real life.
But now those together
the
has a
real world.
unique sound. So every
They all
upgrade
say
that
it,
has
don't they?
an audible effect, as detailed as that is,
Hope
will
so. That'd be
change the
really
audio
good.
of your car. And I think that's super, super
That's
cool.
really cool. Yeah, full central experience. So to pay
Absolutely.
attention to every single thing. It's just like driving in real life, you know, paying attention to
It is a deep
that weird
simulation.
clunk in your car. Maybe slightly more intelligent. But I do think it's really cool that with the automatic upgrades, it does kind of allow you to reverse
If you don't
engineer.
like it,
if
change
you're
it
newer
again,
to the
yeah.
game and you're like,
Precisely.
what is that doing? And then you can, like, you know, as you say, you go back and you look at each part and you're like, why is that there? Maybe I like the feeling of more torque, so maybe I
Yes.
need to add a different component. And
So, for me, deep gameplay is why I play games. That is what I look for. And one of the things with Forza Motorsport is we've always had this deep simulation, but I think in a lot of ways we've tried to kind of wave our hands around it. And yeah, we've always had an accessible game. We've always had an approachable game. We have incredible assist. We always do, and we're doing some groundbreaking work there as well. But that core layer of gameplay is what I've always wanted from Forza.
He's literally
Motorsport.
putting me off the
we've
game.
had it, but it hasn't been celebrated in this way. And I think this
I'm
whole
gonna take my
system
Xbox
really
back
allows
now.
players to understand the deep gameplay that we have, each part being that critical to changing the details of how the car feels on the track. And that just opens up, and once players realize that and feel it and start to understand these things, oh, you're going to be playing the game for a long time. It's going to be great.
it sounds really in-depth. It's very exciting. Okay, well, we're going to talk about one of your favorite topics because we've talked about it a lot on Forza Monthly every time I've interviewed. Yeah, I wonder what it could be. Because we noticed that tire compounds and fuel loads are actually new to the game. So what more can you tell us about those?
Oh, please.
Yeah, we've had different tire compounds and fuel in the past, but this time around, we've just really gone deep in both the simulation of it and the gameplay of it. So yeah, tires and fuel matter. We're going to go really deep into the featured multiplayer version of this later this year, where tires and fuel actually matter a whole lot more, and you really can't opt into it. It's just part of the core experience. But in the single-player Builders Cup career, you can opt into whichever level of simulation that you want. So you can dial in full simulation during the Builders Cup, where you have We even have racing regulations in the game
Yeah,
now,
definitely,
in
Steve.
single player. So if you want regulation systems,
I mean,
on
Project
where
Cars
you're
3
getting
had pretty
penalties
graphics.
for bumping into other cars, and they're getting penalties for bumping into you or running you off the road, you can turn that on.
Wow.
You can turn on full simulation.
They could have had a
damage.
lot
You can
more
turn
of
rewinds off. You
bits
can
of
do
the
things
game that
like
he's
turn the
actually talking
tire
about
and
whilst they're
fuel
talking.
simulation on or
It's a
off.
video, it's not live.
You can go full
really
simulation
disappointed
and
in
have
this.
that career experience. You can dial that out and also kind of have a more, less of a fully simulated experience. So you can just kind of find that right spot.
I feel
for
like
you.
it's wrong to turn
so
it
if
off
you want to care
halfway
about
through.
tires and fuel,
We'll stick with
hey,
it.
We got you.
Yeah.
Hello,
If
Tweet.
you don't really want to worry about that complexity and really just are trying to master the car, great. You can dial that in too.
Excellent. Just choice, more freedom
Absolutely.
for how you want to play. It's always a good thing about games. So something players have been really wondering about are what sort of cars you actually start with in the Builders Cup. So do you start with
Why does
best
she
of the
keep
best
crushing her
supercar,
eyes?
or are you starting with like a everyday, let's say, grocery getter before progressing to the faster car?
Yeah, so one of the things that our community has been asking for a really, really long time is we want progression. We want to start with slow cars and then work our ways to faster cars and then faster cars. And we are not only doubling down on that, but tripling down on this whole notion of progression. So we've talked to death already about the car progression, starting from a stock car,
Please don't
leveling
say
up
again.
and building it.
Please.
But that is in itself taking a car, however slow or fast that car is, taking that on a journey of progression.
Car PG.
We have that whole journey of
You
slower
can
cars
take,
and faster
yeah.
cars in every tour in the game. So you'll start a little bit slower and then work your way through faster cars and sort of a theme. That's what all these different racing series are bunched into these different tours. So you're going to go have an overarching tour experience where you're starting in a little bit slower cars and
Balls of
faster
Motorsport.
cars in the series. But within each series as well, you're having that same progression of starting slower and getting faster. So you're not just seeing that, and you're doing it race by race, right? So it's not just that, I'm starting my entire career with this slow vintage hot hatch and working my way to a supercar, and that is the career. That's not the career.
Okay.
The career is car progression all over the place,
Right.
and it doesn't matter
So
if it's a slow
basically
car,
buy what
medium
you can afford and
car, a
what you
fast
can
car.
afford to
They all
upgrade.
have progression. So at the
Or
micro
what you can level to upgrade.
at the meta level, and everything in between, all of that is car progression.
Okay.
And so I think when players are now like, yeah, I've always wanted
Maybe
car
I see,
progression,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
giving it to you.
In spades.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you asked for it. Here you go. All right, thank you. Well, let's talk about a few other things then, because there are many new concepts in the Builders Cup career mode, like Challenge the Grid, as we saw in the video.
Don't
which happens
recap.
before players start the featured race and allows players to sort of increase the difficulty to earn more rewards and to customize the overall racing to their liking as well, and keep repeating bits, which is cool. So can you tell us more about how this new system works?
Yeah, there's
He
a
just
lot
did,
of
didn't he?
new here again, and so
There's
Challenge the
nothing
Grid
new
is
here.
a really cool innovation for
This
us.
is how
And,
racing games work.
We've always had these risk-reward systems. We've had things like mods in the past, or
Risk reward? What
recently
risk
we've done
reward in
things
a
like
racing
reward
game? You lose
for
or you
turning off
win.
assists. So we would have credit scalers if you say went from ABS on to ABS off or that sort of thing. Now we got rid of all of those credit scalers on assists, and this is because we want players to basically play at the skill and ability level that they have. If you need to have we have blind driving assist now. We have even a one-button mode, so you can say, hey, let the AI do everything for you except for, say, working the accelerator.
Oh, fuck
You can play the
hell.
game this way. And we don't want to punish you for doing
Oh,
that.
my
We want
God.
to just let you play at your level and then start
Wow.
exploring mastering cars, really get into that whole thing around falling in love with cars. So we didn't want to
I don't even
penalize
think
you
at the age of
for
3
using
Max
any of
would
the
want to
systems
play a
in the game.
mode
I actually play with
where
ABS on
the
all
AI
time.
did everything
The
apart from
ABS
say
system is
steer.
fantastic. And it's because it's not about rewarding you for turning off assists. What we are rewarding you for doing is challenging yourself. And that's really what Challenge the Grid is all
We're eating
about.
into F1
You
time
can
now.
say, I want faster AI to race against. I want simulation damage and fuel and tires and all those things. And when you turn that complexity on, that's when you're getting rewarded.
Right.
Right? That challenge
We're already
of
punished.
the difficulty of the game. That's really where all the credit scalars are now. So
I love the
Challenge
way
Grid
if these are
puts
shit, we
all
just
of that
pick
at
it
your
up our
fingertips.
end, don't we?
All
I
of
like
those
that.
options are right there on that screen. And what I find really cool,
I can't believe they're not
is that you
showing
can do
anything.
that
It's
at
incredible.
every
I'm sitting here
race.
waiting to see
So
stuff.
every time you're about to go into a race, you've gone through that open practice session where you've really gotten to know, okay, the car, I feel pretty confident about the car this time, or well, maybe I don't feel confident at all.
Yeah, Captain, yeah.
And you're like, cool, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit.
Oh,
I'm gonna
risk it
go
for the
and put
biscuit.
myself in 24th. And
No, we're not going to risk it for the biscuit. We're going to wait until there's more concrete information on this because that was utter bullshit. The rest of it is pretty good though. Right, I'm going to go and feed Eva. I've got to make a phone call. I've got to go and have a shower, change my screen over, and then we'll be on some F1 23. So if you're coming in for that, I'll probably set the stream for about 9:30, but literally as soon as I'm done, we'll crack straight on. But thank you for joining me on this one, but this was boring. We don't want this. I'll see you very soon.